Hi, Mikael here on a beautiful autumn afternoon in North Canterbury. Today I want to talk about the naked truth about intimate relationships. And I want to, there's two sides to it. One side is the naked truth itself, and the other side are the events, the naked truth about intimate relationships. Let me start with the first one. What is the naked truth about intimate relationships as I see it, obviously? It is moving away from this concept of men and women. So we have always had struggles and challenges and issues in long-term relationships between men and women. Now, if men and women were the problem, then all we would have to do is just have our intimate relationship with a same-sex partner, and we would have no problems at all. However, those who do that discover that the problems remain the same, the challenges remain the same, because the core challenge that we're facing in our intimate relationships is not about men and women. And that is why we continue to struggle with these things and not, for many people, really move through to the next level of fulfillment. So the naked truth really is about understanding what is the real truth behind the challenges that we are having. And I'll give you a little hint. I've talked quite a lot about this over the last few months, and it has to do with the masculine and the feminine. And unfortunately, that is not black and white. So it's not that I'm a male and I'm masculine. It doesn't work that way. It would be really handy if it did, but it just doesn't. And because that is not the way most people are dealing with their relationships in the world today, we are up against these challenges that we call men and women. And again, it doesn't matter whether you're in a homosexual relationship or heterosexual relationship, the dynamics are still the same. So it's really about learning and understanding what does this masculine feminine mean and how to deal with that, how to relate with that in our everyday relationships, particularly our intimate relationships. However, it goes much wider than that. Now, this is a big subject, and I'm not going to go any further with it here now for the newsletter for this week. Because we are having events coming up where we are going into incredible depth and understanding with this, exploring what does this masculine feminine dynamic mean and how do we relate to that in our relationships on a day-to-day basis. Now, I can tell you that it changed my life. It changed my intimacy with my wife, Kathy. When I, about 10, 12 years ago, came across this understanding. And I have been exploring that ever since. And it makes a significant difference to the way that you can move your life and your relationship forward. So if you want to go into more depth with this, we have now 2 events coming up here in New Zealand. One in Auckland in May, and one in Tauranga in July, a whole weekend in Tauranga. And the one in Auckland is a one-day workshop where we explore this in depth. So if you want more information of those, you can either respond with the comments here, you can reply to the newsletter, to the email, and I'll give you a link where you can get more information on those events. Also, what will be coming within the next few weeks, actually, is the next web TV show, and if everything goes to plan, my wife will be there with me on that show talking about our upcoming book, Intimately Entwined, in which we are sharing this journey that we have been through as a couple over the last close to 25 years. And I'll give you a link here at the end of this video where you can go on to a web page and you can sign up for news around our coming book, and in return we will give you the first chapter, the introduction to the book, right now, and you can go and have a read of that. And I believe that already in that there are things of value that you can pick up in that. So go and check out these links and these events, and I hope to see you at one of these events if you're around any of these places. And always feel free to put some comments in or email me back with any questions you have. I do Skype sessions, so I do coaching for individuals and couples, also face-to-face and over Skype. So take advantage of that and get back in touch with any questions that you may have. Thank you for now, and see you next week.